Go.
Hey boys and girls, we're here at one of our favorite trees on the playground, and today we're going to read A Grand Old Tree, because this tree is very old too. This is an oak tree, and we've talked about this tree before. And the story is by Mary Newell De Palma, and she is the author and the illustrator, which means she wrote this book and she drew the pictures. So let's read about this grand old tree. Once there was a grand old tree. Her roots sank deep into the earth. Her arms or branches reached high into the sky. She was home to many, many creatures. Birds nested among her branches. Squirrels scurried through her leaves. Caterpillars and ladybugs crawled about. See all the animals that live? Just like our trees out here on the playground. The grand old tree flowered. That would be in the springtime, the grand old tree flowered. And then it bore fruit. And sowed seeds. See how the seeds were dropping? So maybe they would get in the ground and grow new trees. She had many, many children. See? They dropped into the ground and they grew. They changed the landscape for miles around, perhaps even further than the old tree knew. The grand old tree lived a long, long time. She basked in the sun and bathed in the rain and swayed in the breeze and danced in the wind. She grew and she shed. See, she's growing. She gets flowers and she gets fruit. And then in the fall, her leaves change colors and they fall to the ground. And in the winter, it's just bare branches. Then it starts all over again in the spring. Many millions of leaves. At last, the grand old tree was very, very old. Her branches no longer swayed and danced, but cracked and snapped in the wind. Finally, she fell in the snow, and the snow gently covered her. The old tree had died. She no longer flowered or bore fruit or sowed seeds. But guess what? She was still home to many creatures. Raccoons nested in her trunk. Centipedes crawled along her branches. And linnets grew on her bark. The grand old tree slowly crumbled. She became part of the earth. Today, the roots of her grandchildren sink deep into the earth. Their branches reach high into the sky. And they are home to many creatures. Just like the grand old tree.